What's going on? You're in the Beat Sessions. I'm your host, Mitchell Weary. Kentucky Rockers' My Morning Jacket have returned with a brand new album, but not just any album. This is the coveted self-titled album. It is their ninth and follows 2020's The Waterfall 2. All of those songs coming from the archive. They were recorded back when they were putting together The Waterfall. And so this self-titled album actually marks the first time these guys have been together in a little over 5 years. And I think a lot of people, including Jim James, didn't think that this was going to happen. He's been working on solo stuff since they put out The Waterfall. You know, other band members, I think, have been doing their own thing as well. And, you know, after close to 20 years of making music, 8 albums under your belt, nonstop touring, you see it with a lot of bands that look at each other and they're like, maybe we accomplished what we set out to accomplish. And I think a lot of people felt that My Morning Jacket had hit that point. But I bring up The Waterfall too because it's interesting. Going back, digging through the archive, putting those songs together, I think could have been the catalyst to revive My Morning Jacket. Who even knows to say if we would have gotten this album had Jim James not gone back and dug through those songs and the band didn't decide to put them out. So I'm really pumped to have this new record, like I said, because of live music returning. My Morning Jacket, you know, they're not really exploring any new territory on this record. You get that good, excellent sound that they're known for, rooted in rock and country. I mean, honestly, think of like Leonard Skinner and the Allman Brothers. But then what makes them so special is all the fun stuff that they do, the psychedelic stuff, the electronic stuff. Jim James is just a master of incorporating some of these very unconventional elements into that country rock style that they have. His lyrics are great on this record. The band in its entirety just sounds fresh. And I'm really digging Jim James and his perspective on the contemporary world. You know, there's songs on here that are uplifting, and there's songs that, let's just say, are offering constructive criticism on ways to make things better. But again, these songs aren't going to be ephemeral in any way. I think there's a lot of music that's been made that's focusing on COVID, and I think that is a bad thing. People are not going to want to be reminded of COVID and what they had to go through for that. And so I'm digging this album. I'm digging the way that Jim James approached the lyrical process. And it opens up with regularly scheduled programming. It's got this gospel vocal intro that is excellent. And then this pulsating synth comes in. It's nice and groovy. I really dig the feel of the song. It's got that album opener kind of feel. And yeah, you can tell by the title there that he's talking about just our abuse of technology, of our phones, of our screens, how we don't get outside, how we don't do things that humans are naturally meant to do, and how it's really affecting our well-being, honestly. Your next song, Love, 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 picking up the energy, that positivity, which I absolutely love. It's got this jaunty riff, this great alternative rock feel, but it's also bluesy. You know, you talk about that sound that's always at the root there. I mean, rock and blues still at the core of this thing, and there's a lot of excellent guitar work on this as well. Leading to In Color, it's got this gentle acoustic open, and then the thing just blows open. There's this beautiful backing vocal, just lots of big solo work, especially in the coda of the song. And it's a big jam. I think it's got a runtime of like close to 7 minutes or something like that. So love that track. Your fourth song, Least Expected, it's just got this chill, breezy vibe. Honestly, think of Steely Dan, Doobie Brothers, some of their kind of easygoing music. 5 is Never in the Real World. I love this song. It's just a big rocker. Love the guitar solo in it. Love the organ element. And it's lyrically, it's one of my favorite songs. I will just leave you to pop in the headphones and explore those lyrics for yourself. But I think you'll really enjoy him, and that's definitely one of those tracks where I'm really loving James and his perspective on that. The Devil's in the Details. My goodness, your 6th song. It's got this doo-wop feel, which really runs counter to the heavy lyrical content that is there, and just one of those things that makes James such a master is the way that he can, you know, blend these elements that seem, you know, to contrast. It's one of the things he does so well. Love the way the song jams out in the finish. It's a big track. I think it runs at like 9 minutes long, and there's a big jazz element to it that I noticed that I really enjoyed quite a bit. Lucky to Be Alive. I love it. It's got this fun disco feel in the first part of it, and then the second part of it just feels like this big Pink Floyd style jam. I absolutely love the psychedelic element that's coming into the back half of that song. And Lucky to Be Alive. It's how I feel. I think it's how a lot of us feel. James coming at us with more of that positivity, and I appreciate it. Complex is your 8th track. Just a great rock and roll song. Really dig Penny for Your Thoughts. There's more upbeat energy there in your penultimate track. And then I Could Never Get Enough is just this beautiful love song to close this thing out. Another big track. I think it runs in at like 8 minutes. Honestly, kind of reminds me of like Sad-Eyed Lady of the Lowlands a little bit. A little Dylan-esque in this album closer. But My Morning Jacket, it's always great to have you back. It's always great to have new music from you. Just Jim James is a master. I'm such a big fan of his. I'm a huge fan of this band. Can't wait to check them out live, and you should go do the same. But in the meantime, we're going to vinyl please this thing. You should check it out. Please like this review, subscribe to the channel, share this review as well. Do all the things to help me grow my channel. Stay tuned throughout the week for more album reviews, and we'll see you next time on the Beat Sessions.